presenting.
I'm Mike Massey, and you can catch me on Jiggy Jag TV and see a few of my trick shots there. Thank you very much.
Jiggy Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
Well. It is the big broadcast. We are coast to coast. We are Ballin' a Boner. We're on iHeartRadio today, and we are going to talk to Steve Fall here in a few minutes. I have to try to find Steve Fall. Figure out where Steve Fall is. Steve Beeman. But I don't have a Steve Fall, so I guess what we'll do is we will go through and just search out through emails here, and we'll we'll find Steve Fall pretty easily. So I've got to search through Skype here and find his deal. Okay, well, we will see what happens here with Steve Fall. Steve Fall, that man. This man. So, Steve Fall is going to join us here in just a few moments, and I am Jigman Freud, and we are going to get things going here in just a few. So, Michael Bussler also going to join us in this hour. And, of course, we have a fantastic pre-taped interview that I'm going to run as well. So we've got all sorts of things going to happen today here on our big program. Dissidents will be with us. Those guys. The Dissidents band. This man, these bands. All these bands. All these bands. I'm the bad man today. So, I'm sitting on Skype. We'll see if Steve Fall joins us. Steve Fall. Well, while we wait on Steve Fall, you can find us on our website at JiggyJaguar.com. That is the best spot to see what we are up to. And Steve Fall's in a Toronto indie grunge rock trio. They are On, I think is what they're called. They have a brand new single, and we'll talk about their new single. We'll play their new single on this broadcast. In fact, I might go to their new single while I wait on Steve Fall to connect with us. So, JiggyJaguar.com is the best spot to see what we are up to. That is your best bet. That is your best bet to see what we are up to. I am the Bettin' to Bettin'. Thanks for joining us today. I am the Bettin' to Bettin'. I'm trying to remember where I heard about the Bettin' to Bettin'. I would like to know where I heard about the Bettin' to Bettin'. That would be fantastic. I don't know where I've heard about the Bettin' to Bettin'. I would really like to know. I would really like to know just what in the world the Bettin' to Bettin' is. But Steve Fall is going to join us, hopefully, on the old Skip Skype here on Skype-a-rooney. The Skype-a-rooney, as I say. So we are going to be talking to Steve Fall here in a few moments, hopefully. So I'm hoping that he does join us. If he doesn't, I guess we'll play his single and we'll move on down the road. I guess. I don't know. I guess we will see what happens. I don't know. So, Steve Fall. Where is the Steve Fall man? He was supposed to be with us. Paging Steve Fall. That man. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to give him a link, I guess. We're doing this all live, so I guess we're going to give Steve Fall a link, and we're going to hope to God that Steve Fall falls into a conversation with us. So hopefully Steve Fall will fall into a conversation with us here. Hopefully. We're just trying to put things together on the fly here, which is always good. Michael Busler will join us here in about 15 minutes. We will chat with the fantastic Michael Busler. He will be with us after we get connected here with Steve Fall. Maybe. I guess if we don't get connected with Steve Fall, we will, I guess we will play his music at some stage of the game. So, I guess we will do that. Okay, like we've got Steve Fall going to join us here, maybe. So let's go to Steve Fall, and we will see if he's with us. Steve, yes. How are you, my friend? How are you? We have been patiently waiting on you, and we played a little bit of your music while we were waiting to hear from you. We'll play some more music as we go along here. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about your trio and everything that you're doing here, my friend. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me, and sorry about the wait, guys.
Not a problem. We've got you, my man. Tell us all about the band.
Sure. Okay. Well, On is we're basically a triad. We're a three-piece. Drummers located in New York City. Two of us are in Toronto, and we decided to. We were down in New York and decided to do a little jam one time in Funkadelic Studios in Manhattan, and it went and blossomed into a thing. And we said, let's get back together. We were all on other projects, and we started writing online, and we got together in Florida, in Fort Myers, and we started doing some pre-production on some rehearsals and a studio called Star Sound Studios, and with a guy named Drew Howard, a wonderful guy, and we started recording. And then we came back to Toronto, did some warm-up dates, and the pandemic happened. And we actually played the last show in Canada and the middle when the whole world was stopping. I think it was March the 14th or something, whenever all that nonsense went. I mean, it's been ongoing, right? So we had to rush, and we had friends from England come over. They had to fly back. We had to rush Dan back to New York. We did our two dates. And then, of course, as soon as there was a break in the weather, so to speak, we decided let's get back to Florida and finish our record. So we went down there again, started recording again, and then Omicron hit. We had to get back to Canada. We were thinking they might close the border again, etc. So, it took 2.5 years to get our record finished. But we finally, from February until June, we were up here getting it finished in Phase 1 Studios with our friend Darius at Phase 1, and he finished off the record with us. We put it out on our own indie label, Indestructible. First single came out July the, I think it's the 20th. Yeah, July the 20th we put it out, and here we are. So finally, and now we're touring.
So tell me a little bit about the writing and producing process and everything.
Sure. Okay. So writing, we were a band a long time ago. Pre-internet days a little bit, I guess I'm showing my age a bit here, but we kind of, organically we used to rehearse, and we would, do pre-production on songs, then eventually go into a studio. Obviously with technology today, it was a little bit different, and it was a little easier for us, in so to speak. We would start, we started writing organically in the rehearsal space. That was probably about close to 3 years ago now. And then afterwards, we would file share. We would just sort of get on video calls like you and I are doing right now, so to speak, and write and record stuff, send files back and forth. So we were writing back and forth between the three of us for a little while. And then eventually, when we got down to Florida, we would rehearse in the studio. We decided to write in the studio with Drew, and he said, let's just do it. So we just started bringing tracks up and rearranging them. And we spent a long time on arrangements. We spent probably about, I'd say, close to 3 or 4 months arranging the songs. And then after, because of the situation with the pandemic, we were recording in multiple, facilities. We're at Star Sound, and then we finished off at Phase 1 in Toronto. What we would do is we would get our files, and we would go into the studio. We would pull up our tracks, and then we would record over them, live off the floor or individual overdubs. And then we would, work on vocals, work on extra guitar overdubs, etc. And it was a long process. We really paid attention to the arrangements, and that's sort of, now as far as the writing goes, we all three of us write collectively. I did leave out one thing. When we first did our first jam in New York, I flew back to New York with Dan, and he has an apartment near Central Park, and so we decided to write there and do some lyrics and that sort of thing. We decided, late night we'd go walk around and get some synergy going with the city. We would sort of get inspired, drink coffee and write some ideas down, come back to the studio, to his apartment, and we'd sketch. So even though Dan's playing drums, he's writing lyrics, he's writing guitar parts with me, etc. We've been a band off and on for so long. And then, we'd give those songs to Lucy. Then Lucy would write a bass part, and then she would turn around and write a new lyric to it. Or she'd come in with a song and say, here's my bass riff. She wrote a song called FLA on the album, which was inspired of us driving from Toronto down to Highway 1, going down to Florida. And she got inspired with, the scenery and the topics and Florida as a destination, and, funky Miami groove. She got inspired with that. So she decided to pay tribute to the place. So that inspired that song. Soul Killer and Underdog and a few of these other songs that came on it. Some of these are lyrical introspectives from Lucy or Dan's point of view. So everybody had a hand in the lyrics and arranging the songs.
Fantastic. We have got Steve Fall with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. So we are going to put you on a brief hold here, my friend, and play Underdog. Tell me a little bit about Underdog before we play it.
Absolutely. So Underdog is basically about, I think almost a lot of people today can relate to things. You just want to get in the ring one more time and give it everything you got. It's paying also homage to our hockey team in Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs, who haven't won a Stanley Cup since '67. So we're big Leaf fans, and we keep getting knocked out of the playoffs, and we feel like we're the underdog. And so we try to play homage to that. We put a lyrical reference in there about 1967. So it's punk rock. It's just about giving it your all and just having a free spirit.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to place you on a brief hold, play the track, and it is amazing. It is Underdog, and it's here. That is Underdog, and it is on, and you are listening to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Coast to coast, border to border, let's get Steve Fall back in here. Steve Fall joins us back here on our big program, talking a little bit about On. So how do we get in touch with you guys on social media, the websites, everything?
Sure. Onmusic.ca, that's our band handle. You can also go to our record label, Indestructible Records. That's INDIESTRUCTABLE, indestructiblerecords.com. That's a little imprint. We have all of our tour dates and all of our socials on there. So if you can click on those two things, it'll land you everywhere.
Fantastic. So what has been the reception to your music online? What do people think about your guys' stuff?
You know what? That's a great question, James. We've been politely overwhelmed by the whole experience. We were just a little band, and we're just having some fun, and trying to get back to touring and doing what we do. And we can't keep up. We've been warmly received. This is a digital world, and people get a hold of you right away. There's a lot of email, a lot of tagging on social media, downloading the tracks off our Spotify and our Apple accounts. So we're learning how to manage that. We are a band that's managing ourselves with some of our friends and other punk rock bands, and we made a record label to help out facilitate everything, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been really good because you get that instant reaction right away. So it's been warmly received. We've been getting a lot of fans in England and in the United States and elsewhere as well, Germany, and it's just been great to be able to interact with them and see the files coming in.
Fantastic. So, Soul Killer is the next track we're going to hear. Tell me a little bit about Soul Killer.
Soul Killer, good question. Okay, so Soul Killer, basically Soul Killer, it's kind of, I'm more the guitar on that sort of thing, but Lucy and Dan kind of collaborated together about some of their ills that have happened, some people that have been done wrong to them and that sort of thing as individuals. And so Soul Killer is basically when you're in a toxic relationship and somebody just sucks you dry, and so basically that was sort of the lyrical content on that, just sort of, that somebody just being a soul killer, they're just getting right to your soul and just totally draining you. So that's kind of the lyrical catalyst on that.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to do this. We're going to place you on a brief hold. We are now going to go to Soul Killer, and we were going to attempt to download it because it will not let me just play it straight. So we will attempt to play it this way. Let's see what happens. Gotta love technology. killer, and we are going to go back live to Steve Fall. He is going to fall back into place with us here on our big broadcast. And as we wrap up here with you, Steve, bring us up to speed on your tour and how we buy your stuff and support the band.
Let me just get that.
There we are. We can hear you now. Perfect.
There we go.
There we are. Good? Yes, we've got you. Tell us how we support the band, man.
Oh, well, you can go right to our website. You can go to onmusic.ca, or you can go to indestructiblerecords.com. You can download tracks there. We've got all the links for Spotify and Apple and all that sort of stuff. The tour, we start August 12th here in Ontario, and we're in production with it right now.
Fantastic. Well, Steve, thanks for coming on and sharing some great music with us. Really appreciated the opportunity to interview you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend, for doing this. I appreciate it. Thanks for all your patience, and thanks to everybody for listening.
Thank you, my man. There he goes. That is Steve Fall.